Welcome to my first YouTube video. This is my Walker Bay 8. I want to turn it in to an RID, Rigid Inflatable Dinghy, but it's $800 or more for the inflatable kit. So I've decided to get creative. I just bought 6-inch corrugated drain pipe. I'm gonna bend this around the boat, zip tie it, and fill it with big gap foam filler. After doing that, I'm gonna cover it in decommissioned fire hose with an industrial strength vinyl glue. After that, I'm gonna bolt it to the sides, cap the ends, and that'll be it. We'll see how it works. All right, so we're looking good so far. I haven't decided whether or not I'm going to keep the zip ties on it, but I'm very optimistic. Next step, I'm going to drill some holes in the corrugated plastic drain pipe itself and fill it up with some foam. Okay, I've used 6 cans of great stuff big gap insulation foam filler. I do not believe it is going to fill the entirety of the drain pipe, but with the rubber caps that I have right here on the ends, as well as the fire hose glued around the tube, it should be just about watertight. The holes that I've drilled in order to put the insulation foam in are sealed up with the foam itself. Right now that foam is expanding inside. It's supposed to take about 8 hours until it's fully cured. Because it's inside this tube, I expect it to take closer to 24 hours. It's hard to see, but you can see the foam inside the tube expanding. I have 2 lengths of decommissioned fire hose, which is made up of 2 layers. You have a cloth layer, and then a second cloth layer with a vinyl rubber interior. I'm only going to be using this layer. Because the fire hose is about a 3-inch diameter, I'm going to take 2 lengths of it and sew them together. This will be enough to cover the outer half of the tube. I plan on applying it with the industrial strength adhesive around the zip ties, which I've decided to keep just like so. Hopefully I'll be able to get a nice flattened final product. But I think it'll look good, and I think it'll never sink. We'll see what happens. Good morning. So, taking a look at it here, what I had to do was I had to remove the zip ties in order to wrap the fire hose around the pipe. You can get the glue to hold it in that round shape. You can see that there is a gap. Here's 6-inch diameter pipe and 2 3-inch diameter hoses, but outside diameter, inside diameter, a little off. But what I really wanted to accomplish was having the underneath nice and smooth. That's what mattered. And the outside to keep from the plastic from wearing down. Make sure that tube stays sealed I've thrown a couple of zip ties on yet, but I haven't completed it yet. I bought some zip ties at Ace Hardware, which I will not do again because they were junk and I couldn't tighten it up at all. So, hitting Home Depot today, getting some good zip ties, and then I'm going to test this puppy out. I'll see you then. Well, there you go. Towing the little dinghy behind my 28-foot O'Day. Works like a charm. Water's too cold for me to show you how good it works. Maybe I'll do another video another day as far as standing on the side of it. But it is sturdy as ever. Final product. There it is. Video right here. You know how sturdy that is? Mm-hmm. Pretty darn good. Alright, you can stop that. Final wrap-up video. 20 feet corrugated drain pipe wrapped in fire hose with industrial strength vinyl glue, wrapped with string to get the fire hose to hold its shape to the corrugated tube. Tube filled with big gap filler. Not necessarily necessary because the tube is watertight, but if it were to be punctured and fill with water, the tube would still float. Capped with thick rubber caps and stainless steel pipe hose clamps. It's a Walker Bay 8. And it is just zip tied to the side. Drilled some holes, zip tied the tube. Every once in a while I might have to replace the zip tie, but it's extremely sturdy. I was thinking about putting some bolts through the boat, through the tube, some big washers, but I decided not to do that and create any more areas that water could seep into the pipe. I think the zip ties are adequate. And it works great. Cost about 180 bucks to do the entire thing between the glue, fire hose, caps, corrugated tubing, gap filler, which again isn't 100% necessary. And that's it. That's my first YouTube video, and that's how I do.